Council meeting on Wednesday, June 3rd at approximately 6:44. Roll call, City Clerk.
Mayor Hodge,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Romero,
Here.
Councilmember Ariola Fernandez,
Here.
Councilmember Risen, Councilmember Pacheco.
Here.
Councilmember Risen is here via teleconference.
Yes.
We have a quorum, Mayor.
All right, very good. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I'll lead you. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I will do my best to lead the invocation. Mission statement first. Together,
We pledge to provide effective and efficient services in a courteous and respectful manner to improve the quality of life for all in our unique order community. Viva Calexico.
now it's time for the invocation. Please bow your head. Dear wise and loving Father, thank you for your many and abundant blessings. Thank you for life itself, for health, and for friendship. Thank you for the ability to be involved in useful work and for the honor of bearing appropriate responsibilities. Thank you for loving us even so from your boundless and gracious nature. We pray for our mayor, for the various levels of city officials and departments, and in particular for this assembled council. It is in your most blessed name I pray. We pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Okay. Closed session announcements.
City Council meeting closed session, receive direction, related political action to take.
Thank you, sir. All right. And I trust everybody has read this agenda. Is there a motion to approve this agenda?
So move.
Second.
I'm sorry.
There's a revised resolution for item number 6 of today's agenda, that should be on the dais.
Item number 6,
Correct.
it's this that we received?
That, correct.
Item number 6.
Oh, this one here?
Yes.
Item number 6 is the beginning of discussion and potential action. All right. So let me see how I frame this. Is there a motion for agenda and specifically revising item number 6?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Fernandez. All right, we'll take an individual vote.
Mayor Hodge,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Romero,
Aye.
Councilmember Ariola Fernandez,
Aye.
Councilmember Risen, Councilmember Pacheco.
Aye.
All right, it passes unanimously. I'll read that part, City Clerk. These proceedings may be viewed on the City of Calexico website at www.calexico.ca.gov the Friday following the City Council meeting. Community office hours with Mayor Hodge have been suspended due to coronavirus, COVID-19. Community office hours will resume until further notice. Upon resuming, hours and location will be 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. at City Hall in the City Manager's Conference Room at 608 Heber Avenue, Calexico. You may read the public comments and public appearances if you like. Or do we have any public comments?
Yes, I have.
Yes, we do.
This is a time for the public to address the City Council on any item not appearing on the agenda that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council. During the current state of emergency, public comments submitted via email by 5 p.m. deadline June 3, 2020, will be read aloud and entered into the record. Any comments received during and after the meeting will be distributed to the City Council and retained for the official record. City Council is prohibited by state law from taking action or discussing items not included on the printed agenda. And I don't have it.
Is that it? 1 second, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. This is a question to the Calexico City Council or the four of you that haven't been implicated in an FBI sting and charged with public corruption of the U.S. by the U.S. Attorney. Why are you not taking action to remove Councilman David Romero for his dishonor he has brought to your council and this community? What is happening to the city's planning commission, which is now operating under a cloud, and with its chairman, Michael Maines, who is also a real estate broker and developer? The presumption of innocence that Mr. Romero is entitled to in a court of law shouldn't be the standard you apply to your own council meetings. If you say nothing, you're in agreement. If you do nothing, you are complicit. If this man does not have the moral courage to step down for the good of the community, then you should do it for him. Jose Ortiz, Calexico resident.
Any others?
No, sir.
Thank you. All right. City Council comments and reports of meetings attended. Councilwoman Fernandez?
No, I don't have anything at this time.
Okay. Mayor Pro Tem?
No comment, Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Pacheco?
No meetings attended, but, no, I'll reserve my comments for later on.
Okay, very good. Councilman Risen?
No comment at this point.
All right. I have two comments. On May 29th, the Heffernan Memorial Healthcare District distributed 240 personal protection equipment packages to senior residents at the De Anza Apartments and Villa de las Flores Apartments. These packages consisted of face masks, gloves, and hand sanitizers. Retired Calexico Fire Department Captain and Board President Rudolfo Valdez, along with Board Vice President Mrs. Gloria Grijalva, led the efforts of the Heffernan Memorial Healthcare District to deliver these packages in support of senior citizens. During the month of June, more personal protection equipment packages will be delivered to the senior community in Calexico, in addition to distributing more personal protection equipment packages to people with high-risk health issues in Calexico. Starting Monday, June 8th, 2020, the Heffernan Memorial Healthcare District will have a staff member, assist the public with information and other healthcare related issues Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. For more information, please contact the Heffernan Memorial Healthcare District office at 760-357-6522 or Tony Penmantel at 760-909-9061. Okay. The statement I'm going to make is my own response. I take responsibility for it. And I am not alluding to other city council members on how they feel. It has not been discussed. As mayor, I have a heavy heart in making this statement. I derive no satisfaction in having to read this statement pertaining to Mayor Pro Tem David Romero, but I am compelled to protect my city. Now, in that statement, I know all city council members come forward on that. Therefore, the city of Calexico strongly condemns the egregious allegations, let me repeat, allegations, against Mayor Pro Tem Romero and former Commissioner Bruno Suarez. Calexico will not tolerate or soft pedal this alleged criminal behavior. We are a city government of integrity and transparency, although we must remember that one is presumed innocent until proven guilty. Mr. Romero and Mr. Suarez have the constitutional right to have their day in court, and they will. Our city government and community will move forward in a positive direction. As mayor, I will not allow people to generalize or tarnish the whole city and its government. City employees in City Hall are ethical, hard-working employees. They are good people. And to generalize that our city government is corrupt is dead wrong. Besides, this is not a only in Calexico problem. No, other cities have had their share of unfavorable issues. I will not allow a couple of alleged quote-unquote bad apples to ruin the good this city government has done, especially in the last 4 years. Calexico has worked very hard to fix its problems, and in spite of this alleged individual criminal activity, we have been successful. We have accomplished many of our goals. Today, Calexico City Hall is a wholesome and honorable and efficient government. Yes, we still have room for improvement, but we stand strong and resolute with other cities in weeding out and combating corruption and criminality. The new image and reputation you must accept is overall Calexico being a city of goodwill and decency. Calexico stands tall and will not accept anything less. That ends the city comments. City manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. I have good news. I would like to report that the light poles at Risen Field
Yes.
have been installed. I would once again like to thank the Imperial Irrigation District and our IID representative, Eric Ortega, for helping us get those light poles. The donation was $160,000. It basically paid for the poles and a little bit of the engineering. So those poles are up, and we're looking at getting the electrical connected in the next couple weeks, hopefully, that those lights should be in operation. And we're also trying to, right now, to look at the potential of installing some tile lines, which will allow the grass to grow finally in Risen Field. So that could end up being a really elite park. If you've driven by it, the poles look fantastic. It looks like a really upgraded park with those poles if you've seen them. So we're really happy about that. And also the fencing at Cordova Park, the backstops and the fencing for the baseball fields are being installed as we speak right now. And that park also looks fantastic. I mean, when the fencing and when that park is complete, like I said before, I think it's gonna be one of the elite parks in this county. It's gonna be great. 3 baseball fields, soccer field, and if we have money left over from Measure H, a basketball court there. So it's working. It's happening. Things are happening in this city. The projects are getting done. So I'm really, really happy about it. So.
That's good news, Mr. Dale. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I would like to say that we've all worked hard on that project, but I would especially like to single out Councilman Risen for his leadership in executing and getting that project done, along with everybody else. But thank you, Councilman Risen. Consent agenda item 3, 4, and 5. Is there a motion to approve? I'm sorry, before we move forward, Mr. Miguel Figueroa, do you have anything to say? Nothing at this time. All right. Then we have consent agenda item. Under that is 3, 4, and 5. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve items 3, 4, 5.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Pacheco. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mayor Pro Tem. All those in favor say aye. Or
Aye.
do we have to, aye?
Aye. Oh,
Okay,
Aye.
thank you. All right, have to remember that we have to take individual votes. Discussion and potential action items. Number 6. One second. Number 6. Subject. Resolution to approve the application for local early action planning grant, known as LEP. And,
No,
am I in the wrong one?
this is to approve the resolution for the
Resolution?
budget.
Oh, I'm sorry, I had 5. My apologies. No. All right, let's do it right, Mr. Hahn. Okay, resolution number 2020-, a resolution of the City Council of Calexico, California, approving the budget for fiscal year July 1st, 2020 to June 30th, 2021. And we have the esteemed Carla Lovatos, Finance Director. So you may proceed.
Good afternoon, Mayor, council members. It is a pleasure to be here presenting the budget for fiscal year 2020-2021. We've gone through a series of meetings. We presented a proposed budget back in May 6th of this year. Then we had budget briefings with all the departments. Then we had another meeting presenting all the changes in the numbers. And all of this has been incorporated into this budget. This is what we will have for next fiscal year. There's only contingent of revenues. Some of these funds will be released. There will be a change on our FTEs. The number will not change. It's just the allocations, how they were prepared. We need to work with the Human Resources Department to get the allocations straightened up. At the end of the day, the number of FTEs or full-time employees will remain the same. We will just change the allocations on how they're being charged. With that said, you have the resolution that has been updated. The one that we presented in the book was the one from last year, and that was my mistake. So I have updated that, and I'll leave it up to you if you have any questions.
Yes, or comments. Before anyone proceeds, just want to make a note that we can certainly have discussion, but as far as I was told, we do not have to take a vote tonight. Just in case one of you or some of you feel that this is very cumbersome and you need more time to look at specific areas. Just want to make that comment. Okay, for me,
Do we need to make a motion on this, Mr. Mayor?
no, I don't believe so. Yes?
Because I'd like to table it for 2 more weeks.
Oh, okay, that. Okay, you're there already. All right. You would like to table it for 2 more weeks.
I need a little more time to study the situation.
Yes, I understand, sir. And, but I would like to take some time and have discussion on it also. How do you feel? Fine on that, Councilman Risen?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's take care of Councilman Risen's request. And is there a motion to table the budget for 2 more weeks?
I think motion was set by Councilmember Risen.
Risen, is there a second?
Is there any discussion about the budget?
With discussion.
We've been over the budget item, line item, and we've had all the department
Yes,
heads
we
come
have.
in.
It's been very
Audit
thorough.
has been done.
They made their wish lists, and Ms. Lovatos
And
has.
the wish lists have been included, so everything is here. Everything every department requested, has been included. Again, these expenses have been included, but they are contingent of the city having, increasing the revenues.
The funding.
and like
So-
it was said, that if monies are not there, the wish list cannot be
It
done.
cannot be fulfilled, correct?
Okay.
And we will continue to bring quarterly reports, and as we see the revenues increase, then we'll present them up to you, and it will be your decision which funds will be released at that point.
We need to do it by July 1.
Yes.
It has
That
to, it
is
has
correct.
to
It
be
has to be
approved
done.
prior to July 1. We need to have a working budget
Yes.
on hand.
I concur with you, Councilmember Pacheco.
I also concur. I just wanted to bring it up as an option.
Call for the question.
All right, so is there a second? Okay, the motion to table it for 2 weeks dies on the floor here. So now we'll move forward for comments or questions and discussion before we take a vote. And I was going to initiate, is there something else? Oh, okay. I was going to initiate studying as much time as I had, and I looked at it pretty well. I understand that all the departments have needs. That's without a doubt. But if you were to ask me, and you don't have to because I'm going to tell you, which department seemed to be the one that was most depleted as far as personnel, staff, I would say that was Public Works. And I really feel that we should, before we vote, amend the budget to have put in a project coordinator. I think that is in dire need. All the other departments have their needs also. I accept that. But I think as a dire need, a project coordinator is really important.
Can you elaborate on that, Mr. Mayor? I'm just, in regards to.
Well, I don't know
what
the
would be the
specific
benefit.
duties. You want to elaborate on?
The specific duties
I
would be
just know
for
that they
their
need one
HR.
badly.
Before we go on, the position has been included as an FTE for this current fiscal year. It has been included. It's listed. At this point, it's not funded because we don't have the revenues, but we can look at different options and see when we can fulfill
That's part
this
of the wish
position.
list?
That's
Director
part of the
Lovato?
Well,
wish
I'd
list.
like
That
to
is
take it
correct.
off the wish list and put it in there as an
As a
operation,
funded position.
as a funded position.
It is a
Is that-
recurring cost.
Is that real difficult to do? No?
I'm assuming. it
Yes?
is.
As we stand right now, we don't have the monies to support any additional expenses. So if we were to fund that position, then something else would have to be taken out.
Maybe, Mr. Mayor, we can prioritize it to maybe be at the top of the wish list?
That's a possibility.
Yeah,
Mr.
it's,
Dell, you're coming forward? Let Mr. Dell speak. Yes.
So, there's a couple of positions that were requested in Public Works, and they're funded primarily by the enterprise funds, 80%, and the project coordinator is one of those funded by 80%. And there is a real need in Public Works for that. The workload is exceeding the level of staffing, and it's in every department, and obviously police, fire, the same thing, but
Yes.
this one is only funded in the general fund by 20%. So that's why that was something that we felt was an important because of the level of need, and it only costs 20% to the general fund. Same thing with the engineer that was requested. I think it's 80%, if I'm not mistaken, by the enterprise fund. So that could be another position if there's a way of finding whatever's the 20% of the general fund that is going to be needed. I think that would be a good thing because it really is not a big hit to the general fund. At the same time, if there's a way of rearranging some funds, I would be happy to share whatever I have from my city manager fund if there's any fat in that at all. But I know that those are needed very much in this city. Just as a comparison, I think I could be wrong, but I think the city of El Centro has 10 staff in the engineering field, just in the engineering
Well,
office.
that's what bothered me. There were only
And so,
3.
what our public works manager is doing is basically covering for that entire department, plus doing all the other duties as the public works manager is required to do. So, if there's a way possible, any chance of finding general funds for paying 20% of their, I mean, it may be worth it in that regard. So that's the only thing I wanted to add, because the general fund would be hit, but not even one position. It would be 0.4, 0.2. So.
Okay, thank you. Mrs. Villamar, would you like to say something? Especially enhance or tell us more about project coordinator, maybe?
Good evening, Mayor and Council Member. As our city manager mentioned, for our engineering department, it's only my project inspector, my engineering tech, and myself. I oversee, I'm doing the job that I was doing prior to being the Public Works Manager, coordinating the projects, making sure they are following the federal and state guidelines. When I did my presentation, I showed you that about 90% of the capital improvement program is done by the Public Works Department. I believe it was a total about a $50 million total for all CIPs. So I really would like for City Council to consider at least giving me the project coordinator's position.
Any comments?
I throw it back to our finance director. If it could be done, I don't see why not.
That's your position.
That's my position.
And it can be done, we would just need to hold other positions so that we can fulfill that position as our city manager or public manager suggested. It is an allocation, only 20% of this salary goes to general fund. The majority would be water and wastewater, so it could be done, we would just need to hold other positions to make it work.
Then
But
again,
it could
Director
definitely-
Lovatos, this is all contingent on our businesses reopening again, right? And
Well,
generating more
I mean,
tax
the
revenue due
projects are
to the fact that's why
ongoing.
it's wish list. So it's just pretty much, some of it's been out of control because of the COVID-19 situation.
That is correct.
So upon that, being able to reopen more of the city and its businesses, obviously a lot of that's going to be changing, right? Hence the reason why you're going to be doing the quarterly reports or
Correct.
even special meetings if any changes in revenues are, come.
That is
out of-
correct.
Okay, thank you.
But I just once again, I just feel this warrants as an emergency. I mean,
I think we can
that department is
prioritize.
really drowning.
Yeah, you could,
I think we can prioritize, Mr. Mayor, we can prioritize that as item number 1 to fill, and as requested by you. We do know that that department is run by a minimal amount of people, so she's overworked, and Mr. Dale is attesting to that. So I think we prioritize and make that our first goal to fill that.
Okay.
Mr. Camp-
As the money.
Mr. Campos, if that's the case, do we need to do an amendment if we want to set a motion?
Yes.
no.
Like set a motion on
Just
approving
give
the
direction on that?
budget, giving direction to prioritize certain positions, like Mr. Mayor said, the project coordinator? Okay.
Okay, I can say that right before we make a motion. Okay. All right. Anybody else have some concerns or questions or comments? There was just one other area that got my attention. Let me see if I can explain this properly. And correct me if I'm wrong. It stood out especially with under recreation and specifically Cultural Arts Center. And it was that I noticed that some departments, they generate revenue, a good amount, and then say they do it in they generate the revenue. For instance, Cultural Arts Center, they generate 20,000 or 25,000 for 2019, 2020 year. And then when we, what happens in the process for the upcoming year budget is that we look at the budget and the Cultural Arts Center is only going to receive 15,000. Wouldn't it be more fair that the departments get the amount of money equal to what they generated in revenue?
Besides the revenue that they generate, there's additional costs that you would not be seeing. Let's say, like recreation department. The estimated revenues for this coming fiscal year are 50,000, and their expenses are 427,000. That includes all the employees, all of their benefits, all of the expenses, all of the temp staff, water bill, well, not water bills, electric bills, cleaning, supplies. All the supplies that we provide for the classes are provided by the city. We purchase them. So those are hidden expenses that you would not see in the revenues that are coming in. So, and then there's.
So that's why that adjustment is
there's a
made.
disparity between the revenues and their expenses.
It just caught my attention, so I thought I'd bring it up. All right,
Well, that's
that's
okay.
all the concerns I have. Everybody else is fine?
I'm fine.
Okay, then, is there a motion to vote and approve this budget along with the direction given that, on the wish list, we are going to prioritize, the project coordinator from, Department of Public Works, have them be on top of the wish list. Is there a motion made on that?
So
I make a
moved.
motion.
Okay, so moved by Councilwoman Fernandez. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all right then, let's vote. And you want to take the vote individually?
Mayor Hodge,
Aye?
Mayor Pro Tem Romero,
Aye.
Councilmember Arreola Fernandez,
Aye.
Councilmember Risen,
Aye.
Councilmember Pacheco,
Aye.
Okay, it passes unanimously. Congratulations for being ahead of time and being thorough and all the hard work you've
Work,
put in.
definitely.
Thank you. Okay, guys.
I don't know.
Item number 7, agenda item number 7, correct? Okay. Subject. Authorize city manager to sign change order number 8 with Pyramid Construction and Aggregate Incorporated in the amount of $99,449.90 for Cesar Chavez Boulevard improvements. Federal aid project number HPLUL-5168, parentheses, 017, or 017, excuse me. Any background given on this, and welcome,
Thank
fellow
you,
mayor.
Mayor. Our Cesar Chavez Boulevard Improvement Project started back in August of 2018, and it has been going on for about a year and a half now. Back in October, we had to suspend the construction because the only portion left was the improvements done on the Union Pacific Railroad at 5th and Grant. So we have been, originally, Union Pacific Railroad said that they would come early 2020 to repair the rails, but it has taken them a long time to come. Now they'll be starting to work on the project this coming weekend. But during this process, the California Pacific Utilities Commission also came and inspected the project and required additional work, for example, additional signage, as well as a medium at 5th and Grant Railroad crossings. So we come before you to approve the final change order to make those improvements so we can close out the project of Cesar Chavez Boulevard.
Okay.
This will finalize the project once?
Yes, this will finalize the project. Once all the improvements are made, then we contact Caltrans. They come and do their last revisions, and then we can close out the project.
Great.
Okay. Concerns, questions? No?
The monies are still available.
Yes, the funding is still available. The funding will be coming out of Measure D.
Where are the monies coming from again?
Measure D.
Measure D. Okay. Is there a motion to authorize city manager to sign change number 8 with Pyramid Construction and Aggregate Incorporated in the amount of $99,449.90 for Cesar Chavez Boulevard improvements?
So move.
Second?
Second?
Okay, second by Mayor Pro Tem. We'll take an individual vote.
Mayor Hodge,
Aye?
Mayor Pro Tem Romero,
Aye.
Councilmember Arreola Fernandez,
Aye.
Councilmember Risen,
Aye.
Councilmember Pacheco.
Aye.
Just a quick announcement, Mayor. Forgot to mention that the railroad crossing there on 5th Street and Grant will be closed effective today for about 2 weeks. There are detour signs, so for those that are coming from Mexicali, they would have to either take 2nd Street or go all the way to
98.
Highway 98.
Okay.
Okay, very good.
You gonna put a big finger?
Agenda item number 8. Award the bid proposal from A&R Construction in the amount of $1,274,501.75 and authorize city manager to sign construction agreement for 2nd Street, Dual Avenue, and Beach Avenue water pipeline replacement project. Background, please.
Yes, back in March 2nd, 2020, the Public Works Department requested bid for the replacement of a water line on 2nd Street between Blair Avenue and Andrade, Dual Avenue between 2nd and 7th, and Beach Avenue between 2nd and 7th. 4 bids came in. The lowest bidder was A&R Construction with the 1.2 million. Our engineer's estimate was 1.5, so they did come a little bit below what we expected the price of the project to be.
Okay, so we're going with A&R Construction. All right, is there a motion, please?
Motion to approve agenda item number 8?
Okay, and before we proceed, any questions or comments?
No, just the funding for this project is from our Water Enterprise Fund,
Okay,
so no effect to the general fund.
All right, it won't affect the general
mentioned
fund.
that
That's a
last time, Mr.
blessing.
Alomir.
All right, so we have a
Measure D money, right?
Measure D, is that correct?
Enterprise.
No.
No?
Water funds.
Water Enterprise Fund.
Water
funds.
Enterprise Funds.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, is there a second?
So move.
So moved by Councilman Pacheco. Individual vote, please.
Mayor Hodge,
Aye?
Mayor Pro Tem Romero,
Aye.
Councilmember Arreola Fernandez,
Aye.
Councilmember Risen,
Aye.
Councilmember Pacheco.
Aye.
Okay. Moving on to item number 9. Approval of the revised recreation manager and library manager job descriptions and relevant salary ranges. And we have the esteemed Denise Garcia, Human Resources. Welcome.
Hello, Mr. Mayor. We have before you a revised recreation manager and library manager job description and the relevant salary ranges to go along with those. The reorg was approved at the last meeting on May 20th, and administration has brought this back to you at your request to review the revisions that are in front of you. It looks like we're going to request that we add back the minimum education to be a bachelor's degree
Yes.
for the recreation manager position, and also increase the salary range from range 45 for both of those positions to 46.
Okay. All right, that's very straightforward, and we did bring a request to bring it back. And I need to say that the reason that we voted yes on it to begin with was just a lack of not thorough knowledge. And when some of you came up and gave your very insightful explanations, then we knew that we had gone the wrong direction, or at least I did. So thank you. Is there a motion on this item? Any comments or questions? No.
Salaries have been adjusted, I saw that. They went up a little,
I'm
the
sorry,
salaries.
From 45 to 46, yes.
Do you have a comment, Mayor Pro Tem?
No,
No?
I was just
Okay.
asking if somebody had a comment.
All right, very good, yeah. All right, then, is there a motion?
So moved. Motion to approve agenda item number
Okay.
9.
Moved by Mayor Pro Tem Romero. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Fernandez. Individual vote, please.
Mayor Hodge,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Romero,
Aye.
Councilmember Ariola Fernandez,
Aye.
Councilmember Risen, Councilmember Pacheco.
Aye.
We unanimous vote.
We have a quorum. We have, and it passes unanimously.
Passes.
Okay. Agenda item number 10. Approve a professional service agreement with Fernando Ruiz and Associates and authorize the city manager to sign the agreement. Okay, still there?
Yes.
A little background on this, please?
We have before you a professional services agreement. It's for safety consulting for the majority of the departments. However, their focus is on OSHA compliance. And so we've had a number of workers' compensation injuries over the last several years. And a lot of times work-related injuries can be avoided. So Fernando Ruiz and Associates, they're very well known in the Valley, and they do site inspections where a lot of safety consultants work from their office, and they send you information on what you should do. Fernando Ruiz actually comes to the job site and he inspects, not just for the benefit of the employee, but the benefit of the city to prevent, to be proactive in the prevention of on-the-job injuries and illnesses and exposures. So what we've noticed already, he's been working very diligently with Ms. Falamir in the Public Works Department, and the staff seems to be very receptive to his requests and his recommendations for improvement in all of the divisions in Public Works. And so we're looking at bringing him on board with a retainer, a monthly retainer.
Okay. Questions or comments, council?
Our pyramid, they have no one that can do this? Our pyramid, is it a different?
Pyramid Construction probably wouldn't do employee safety consulting or public agency safety consulting. I'm sure they have somebody in-house that handles it for their own employees. But we are a little bit different. So what we require, for instance, a lot of the departments, most of the departments, any employees that are working outside require heat injury and illness awareness, heat illness awareness, prevention training, so that our employees are aware of heat exhaustion before they become ill
Dehydrated
from
and
heat.
real.
Correct, from the exposure. So he's able to provide that training as well. So he's a little more diverse than, say, somebody that you would get for just construction projects or just water plant improvement projects. He has handled the, I believe, the Coupa plan for Public Works already, which is required. It's a requirement of OSHA. So he's taken a really proactive approach already, and again, he has fixed a lot of deficiencies that were in place and that had been in place for many, many years
Do you,
in those departments.
Does he also work, like, coming into the office to see how your computers are set and the sitting wise?
He doesn't handle the ergonomics, and that would be
Okay.
handled through CSAC, and we can
Oh,
get
okay.
somebody that does that. In fact, I'm working with one of CSAC's, which is our or insurance provider to bring somebody down to do that as well. So that's an additional, he doesn't really handle the desk space or ergonomics. It's more of an OSHA requirement
Oh,
versus,
yeah, okay.
versus,
Do you feel that hiring or approving this for Fernando Ruiz and Associates, we will be more in compliant with OSHA? Have we had problems with OSHA before?
You don't really have a problem with
Problem.
OSHA until you have a problem with
Workers.
OSHA. Your
Workers
goal is to not
Have
have
a
a problem with
problem.
OSHA, and
Right.
so he has probably, if you want to,
I get,
he has probably saved us money already.
yes.
Good.
So
It's proactive.
by catching some of the deficiencies and
It's preventative. He's going to.
it's all preventative, and
Yes,
it's being
and
very
that's going to
proactive instead of
minimize our,
OSHA coming on board. It takes one visit from OSHA and we could be fined,
Right.
$500,000, depending on
Wow.
what
Right.
what the violation is.
So the ROI is worth it because of all the work he's doing. He's saving us a lot of money on the other side.
Yes,
So even
yes, and he's-
even paying his retainer as is, it's already saving us money because of everything he's saving us by all the safety compliances he's giving the entire city.
And the safety compliance, the recommendations, the policies that he's able to put in place, the training for the supervisors to hold their own tailgate meetings, and that's really important because you want to reiterate the safety not just once a year or once a month. You want to do that every week. So, here we have these projects coming up. This is what you need to do in order to keep safe while you're performing those projects. He's able to do that. He's able to train the supervisors that are there now so that they can train their staff a little bit better, which hopefully will reduce our work comp injuries. And if you give them the training, then
Workers' comp.
hopefully they
Yeah.
put it into effect.
Okay, very good. Is there a motion on agenda item number 10?
I would make a motion to approve the professional services agreement with Fernando Ruiz and Associates and authorize the city manager to sign the agreement.
Very good.
So moved.
Second by Mayor Pro Tem Romero. Individual vote.
Mayor Hodge,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Romero,
Aye.
Councilmember Ariola Fernandez,
Aye.
Councilmember Risen, Councilmember Pacheco,
Aye.
motion passes.
It passes unanimously. All right, very good. On to agenda item number 11. Subject, adopt resolution 20- adopting the FMLA leave expansion and emergency paid sick leave policy in accordance with federal guidelines.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. What you have before you is a requirement for the city to meet the guidelines. It actually gives HR and the supervisors guidelines to follow when the employees request leave under the new Families First Coronavirus Response Act. And we've already been following that. We've had several employees take advantage of the leave already. And so we just need to bring it back to you for formal adoption.
Formal
Okay.
adoption. Very good. Questions or comments?
Don't have
No, that's pretty straightforward. Okay, is there a motion?
Make a motion.
Oh, all right, and a second?
Second.
Second by Mayor Pro Tem Romero. Very good. Individual vote.
Mayor Hodge,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Romero,
Aye.
Councilmember Ariola Fernandez,
Aye.
Councilmember Risen, Councilmember Pacheco,
Aye.
it's unanimous.
Passes unanimously. On to agenda item number 12. Sort of interrelated here. Adopt resolution 20- adopting the City of Calexico COVID-19 Advisement Protocols. Background on this one.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. And what you have before you tonight is the advisement protocols. It's just basically guidelines for supervisors to follow during this pandemic and what they need to do when a possible exposure happens or an actual positive result for an exposure to COVID-19. We've already been following the procedures. It was distributed to supervisors back in April, and we've been following the guidelines as they are stated in this advisement. There's a flow chart that sort of simplifies everything so that the employees can understand what to do in the event of an exposure to themselves.
Comments or questions?
It's been in place since April? Yeah.
April 16th is when it was given to the supervisors. Correct.
And you're saying that our employees are aware of this?
It was distributed to the union members, to the
Okay.
union reps. Correct. And they were given a chance to comment or ask questions.
I know that right now some employees get kind of, I guess they're scared if, they hear one employee has it and they feel that they've been exposed.
Yes.
So we are following procedures and they've been told that not until they have signs and symptoms, they are to go to the doctor.
In fact, we are going to change it up a little bit, so instead of notifying their department head when they're sick, whether it's COVID related or not, we are going to start having them contact HR, so we can start the contact tracing and notifying them immediately versus HR finding out 3 or 4 days later and trying to go back and fix that. So as far as the department heads letting them know, I don't know, but I can assume that it's being handled that way in the departments. But it does get back to us and we have to do all the paperwork as required. There's a lot of paperwork for this, so whether it's an exposure or possible exposure.
Mr. Dale, it's
But we
kind of
are
hard to
following.
keep these guys from working. If you're gonna dig a shovel here, you need somebody next to you to dig a shovel. I mean, they're both digging, but there might not be that social distancing. So are we all covered, and are we providing mascaras?
The necessary safety.
Because once those,
I'll move, hold on while we social distance while we trade.
As you mentioned, Mr. Pacheco, we have had difficulties in our Public Works Department because, of course, in a lot of the work duties that they have to be with somebody for safety reasons and also to complete the project. We have been providing gloves, we have been providing masks. We have made a couple of arrangements at the Public Works Yard where certain divisions eat at certain times, so there's no contact. Also, we had to rearrange our Public Works Yard lounge room. So we are providing hand sanitizer, supplies for the cleaning. It has been a little bit challenging, but we're trying to keep from our employees getting sick with the COVID.
it's tough, yeah.
It is tough, yes.
Okay. Any
Thank you.
more questions? No? All right, then. Is there a motion to adopt Resolution 20- adopting the City of Calexico COVID-19 Advisement Protocols?
So moved.
Moved by Mayor Pro Tem,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Fernandez. Individual vote?
Mayor Hodge,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Romero,
Aye.
Councilmember Arriola Fernandez,
Aye.
Councilmember Risen,
Aye.
Councilmember Pacheco.
Aye.
Motion passes.
It passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, on to an agenda item that I'm very pleased to see. And the subject matter for number 13, subject matter is award the bid proposal, including bid alternate number 1 from Oakview Constructors Incorporated in the amount of $5,827,400 and authorize city manager to sign construction agreement for the Calexico Fire Headquarters Station Replacement Project. Very good. Background, Mr. Dale?
So in background, the history is, I understand
Long.
it, I wasn't here, but about 10 years ago, I think the city, through its Measure H, did a bond process, and through those proceeds, designated a certain amount of money for a fire station to be built. Part of that money went to Cordova Park, and part of that money went other projects. But now, 3 years almost to the date that I started at Calexico. Finally, we have the project is ready for construction. So this is Measure H bond proceeds. There will probably be some money that will be used from our PI CDBG funds to augment this project to completion. We will need additional, like say for example, construction management funds. We'll have to get a special inspections and those kind of things. So, and there will be, I guarantee you, change orders on this project. There's always on every project. What we try to do is we usually estimate 10% of the project funds to go to change orders. So you can already expect, it happens on every project that there will be change orders. So 5.8 million, we're looking at probably 6.2, something like that, 6.3 at the end of the day.
order.
Yeah, there will end. No doubt there will be something changes. It happens all the time.
But it just won't be that outrageous, right? $500,000.
So what we need to do, well, a $5.8 million project, 500,000 wouldn't be too bad.
Right.
A good project, a really, really good project would be 5% or less. But regardless, there's things that when things start happening, you say, oh, can I change that? Can I get this? It happens all the time. Or, you're digging a ditch and you find a water pipeline you didn't expect, and it happens all the time. So just be wary that will happen. But we got proposals. We went out to bid, and the low bid was $5.827, $400, and from Oakview. There were requirements for DBE, DBVEs. That was all looked at with good faith efforts and all that stuff. Our city attorney looked at the agreement and didn't have much of a comment. There was some minor things that we need to change, but they don't affect the contract that much at all. It's just names and so forth. So I think with our city attorney's blessing, I would recommend the council to approve the Oakview proposal and let us get started with finally with the fire station construction.
Right, finally. Long in the coming. Questions or comments, council?
Long overdue.
Long
Yes.
overdue.
It
Very
is
happy to see this.
Very long.
Very happy. Okay, very good. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve agenda item number 13.
All right, Mayor Pro Tem, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Fernandez. Individual vote.
Mayor Hodge,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Romero,
Aye.
Councilmember Ariola Fernandez,
Aye.
Councilmember Risen,
Aye.
Councilmember Pacheco.
Aye.
We have a unanimous, the motion carries unanimously. Last item, agenda item for discussion and action. Subject, resolution number 2020- a resolution of the City of Calexico City Council approving and establishing the appropriations limit for fiscal year 2020-21 pursuant to Article X11B of the California Constitution. And this is better known as the GAN limits? Is that
GAN
correct?
limit.
Oh, there you are. Oh, okay. Little background.
This is part of the process. Every year when we set up our budget, we have to set up the appropriations limit or GAN limit. When the auditors come back to do our year end, they review that our GAN limit was set up accordingly, and this is it increases every year based on CPI and per capita income.
Yeah.
And we get a letter from the Department of Finance letting us know what the per capita income is and what the CPI was for the prior year.
This
We set up
happens,
the appropriations limit
this
for the
happens
following.
every year.
It happens every year. It's part of our budget process.
Okay. Questions or comments?
None.
Pretty straightforward. Okay, is there a motion?
Motion to approve item 14.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All right, individual vote.
Mayor Hodge,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Romero,
Aye.
Councilmember Ariola Fernandez,
Aye.
Councilmember Risen, Councilmember Pacheco.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries unanimously. Very good. Now, the last item is future agenda items. To my right, Councilwoman Fernandez.
I do not have anything, but I do want to comment. I want to thank, for all the hard work for the Fedex
Yes.
that was done. Thank you very much for all the hard work that you all did.
Okay. Mayor
Yes.
Pro Tem.
Piggybacking off of Councilwoman Areola Fernandez, I just want to congratulate Kevin Kiernan and the entire Kiernan West team for successfully completing the FedEx building. I know it's already open. I don't know if it's a shipping center for customers to go there directly. Correct me if I'm wrong, it's just freight, but at the end of the day, it's just another successful business growing here in Calexico, so.
Very good. Councilman Pacheco.
Yeah, they shut down the old FedEx. They've just moved everything onto the new one. So they've closed down basically the older site.
Upgrade.
So it looks good as I passed by and drove around our city. That was nice to see, big, nice stalls. Hopefully in that area. But it was blocked out. I don't think they had.
Yes, all the infrastructure's been repaired, the streets have been overlaid.
Good.
Looks good. Okay. And
A comment also on
Oh, yes.
111, as you're going out, there's a lot of wind-thrown trash. And is that Caltrans or us?
It is us, if it's between, Cole and Jasper.
Is it us? Cohen Jasper, though, yeah? Okay.
All the way up to Jasper.
All right. Just a comment.
No future items on my part, Mayor.
All right, thank you, Councilman Risen. I'm sorry, I didn't forget you, I was coming to you. Okay, all right, and I have no future agenda items. All right, is there a motion to adjourn, please?
Motion to adjourn?
All right, is there a second? Second by Councilman
So moved.
Pacheco. So moved. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Very good. All right, meeting is adjourned.